Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Both Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman go missing. Mariah Copeland wonders if one of them didn't go willingly. Plus, Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson have an awkward regale together. Suckers recall that Daniel Romalotti, Jr. was concerned that Phyllis sounded to go MIA. At first, Summer was upset. Still, now further time has passed and there's still no word from Phyllis. Daniel indeed called Billy in Paris to see if he knew anything. Summer realized that they demanded to call Chance. While Phyllis has played these games ahead, she wouldn't do it right after all this stuff with Heather, would she? It seems that Phyllis isn't the only one to go missing in Genoa City. Daniel realizing that Sharon is also missing. Daniel and Summer hear as Nick mentions it being a weird coexistence. Daniel ponders why Sharon and Phyllis would vanish at the same time as they detest each other. That's when the camera zooms over to Mariah, who's standing next to Chance. Mariah answers Nick's question by suggesting one of them didn't go willingly. Now, everyone knows about Sharon's crime spree, but she was also framed and under PCP without her knowledge. Also, we've Phyllis, who promised to make Sharon feel what Heather's loved bones went through. It seems a bit soon for that, however. Could it be someone nothing expects, similar as Ian Ward? Indeed, though Ian was pronounced dead, his eyes opened in the ambulance. Damian Kane and Lily Winters having regale together. Lily tries to get further information about Damian's background. Still, Damian tells her that she formerly knows all about his family drama. That's when Lily clarifies that she still doesn't really know anything about Damian. Rather of answering, Damian asks if Lily is involved with anyone. The blunt way that Damian skirts around these questions makes Lily laugh. There's also Adam and Chelsea. As they sit at an awkward romantic regale, Adam and Chelsea comment on their uncomfortable situation. Phyllis Summers has gone missing. Daniel Romalotti, Jr. is right that Phyllis wouldn't play games so soon after the Heather Stevens saga. So, it seems Phyllis really is missing. Could it be Ian, who everyone thinks is dead? Suckers lately watched Sharon give the performance of a continuance with the PCP plot. Now that Sharon has been cleared of boggling Heather, she's starting the process of forgiving herself. Sharon and Phyllis will be thrown into a life or death situation where they're both going to have to rethink their relationship. Sharon was in a life or death situation. While Phyllis was run off the road by that truck, it seems her life or death situation could be much bigger. Also, there's that part where the scribe calls it a life or death situation, meaning one situation and not two. So, that indicates that Sharon and Phyllis's story isn't over yet. Plus, neither has reconsidered their relationship. Phyllis still hates Sharon as much as ever, so commodity differently must be coming over. Daniel mentioned to Summer that he couldn't reach Phyllis. Daniel was really upset about his mama, but Summer sounded to brush it off. Daniel and Summer both fear and indeed try to get answers from Billy. It seems Phyllis has faded without a trace, which brings Chance in on the case. During Ian's showdown with Victor, he was pronounced dead. With the white distance over his head, Nikki said her final farewell to the monster. Still, suckers know that in the ambulance, Ian opened his eyes. Indeed, though the Newman family thinks Ian is dead, he's easily alive nearly. Could Ian have abducted Phyllis? Will it be over to Sharon to save Phyllis's life and eventually earn redemption? Sharon may earn redemption by saving Phyllis from what could mean certain death. Phyllis has sworn to no way forgive Sharon for framing Daniel. Will Phyllis have to eat her words when Sharon shows up and saves her life? Phyllis was last seen waking up from a romantic dream about Billy. Phyllis could have hopped an airplane to Paris to intrude Billy's trip with Sally. Still, Phyllis would have answered her kitty's calls and not wormed them no matter where she was. Commodity is surely wrong. Billy hasn't heard from Phyllis, and she hasn't shown up. Daniel and Summer have called in Chance to try to help detect their mama. Unfortunately, Chance may not have any luck chancing Phyllis. Moreover, Phyllis may have set up herself in a mess orchestrated by the not-so-dead Ian Ward. Everyone allowed. That Ian had failed from the shot he entered while fighting with Victor. Still, suckers know that Ian woke up on the ambulance lift from the estate on his way to the morgue. Could Ian have gotten his hands on Phyllis and plan on using her to get to the Newmans? Ian was determined to kill all of the Newmans when he went to the estate that night. Ian had also tried to have Phyllis killed formerly ahead when he'd Jordan run her off the road to frame Sharon for her murder. Is Ian up to his old tricks again? Could Ian use Phyllis to get to Nick or Sharon? Sharon has dealt with Ian ahead and indeed exposed him as a trouble to the Newman family. Sharon is off the PCP now and knows how Ian's mind works. Sharon could hear that Phyllis is missing and make it her charge to find her and bring her home. This could go a long way with Sharon's kiddies, indeed, if Phyllis remains skeptical of her motives. Phyllis may realize that Sharon didn't have to come after her, but at least watched enough to try to save her. These two will no way be stylish musketeers, but Sharon knows what it's like to be held by Ian and Jordan and forced to live on occasional bottles of water and not much more. Will Sharon risk her safety and make a point to find Phyllis? Will Sharon earn redemption by bringing Phyllis home? Victor believes his youthful son is on track to a tune. The mustache feels good about Adam and Chelsea coordinating. Kyle and Claire are growing closer. They're likely an impregnable couple, no matter what Victor thinks of his granddaughter's first romantic interest. Victor just dramatically corroborated his place as the head of the Newman family. Tagging him as the slip of Genoa City, Wisconsin, would be hard to argue against. It's no surprise that Victor wants to wangle issues in his family. He feels that his experience in life, including his notorious particular life, makes him an expert on matters of the heart. To his great credit, he did manage to move Nikki to marry him for a third time. This conciliation redounded in their longest period of marriage ever. So, it's fair to say that Victor does know how to find his way back to true love. That makes his stimulant of Adam and Chelsea's move to the old ranch house worthwhile. But trying to break Claire's first relationship is wrong. Victoria is still getting used to having Eve back in her life. Of course, Eve goes by Claire, and all due discourteousness is owed to the now late Jordan Howard. So, when Victor got cranky after returning from the sanitarium following the firing, Victoria stood up for her son. But she didn't take it too far, because Victoria knew her father was enduring the goods of Ian Ward's pellet going through him. Victoria's defense of Claire is correct. Her father only opposes Kyle because of Jack. There's no base for Victor to legitimately go against Claire's developing relationship with Kyle, except for the reality of him being an abbot and using Mueller's character during the Glissade deception. Victor has been allowing good studies about Adam and Chelsea for months. The offer of the old ranch house was intended as part of In Trouble to Blarney a reunion. Victor telling Chelsea that he thinks else about her now was veritably important. She gained his blessing, opening the day door to Adam's stimulant. While Adam and Chelsea are conservative in not wanting to produce what they feel is a false stopgap for their son, a Chatham reunion feels more likely than not. Victor will be given credit if that happens, with renewed love potentially being in the downtime or spring air on the Newman estate. Nate to get a surprise caller. Chloe shares a history assignment with Sally. Also, Daniel is suspicious of Phyllis' alliance with Billy. Nate gets a surprise caller. Now, Holden aka Fake Damian formerly called Nate and said he'd stop by. When Holden gets there, he's blindsided by Amy, so Holden might not have any choice but to warn the real Damian. So, Nate's unanticipated caller is presumably the real Damian. What will his reason be for his elaborate deception? Can Amy explain effects to her son? Chloe to partake a history assignment. Chloe will partake this with Sally, so it could be about Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers. While Billy will contend it's just a business deal, Phyllis is eager to conquer the world. So, what will Chloe's advice to Sally be, and could it change effects for Billy? Billy tried to get Daniel in on his business adventure. While Phyllis was on board, Daniel allowed. It sounded too good to be true. Daniel's gut is screaming red alert and he'll get upset about his mama partnering with Billy. Could Daniel go ahead and join Billy's adventure, just to keep an eye on Phyllis? Diane Jenkins, to begin her redecorating charge. With Tracy agreeing to help Diane, Jack is sure to not be dissatisfied. Tracy wouldn't allow Diane to do anything to the manse that destroys its history. There's also Claire Grace's charge to get her forefather to authorize of Kyle. Will Claire make the situation more or worse? That seems to be the big question right now. With Summer floundering with her covetousness, that could play into Kyle and Claire's complicated future as well.